Hello everybody, and I'm back with part 2 of the Lavagirl hip armor. So as I said before, we were going to plasti dip next. So now I'm plasti dipping my hip armor pieces. Make sure you plasti dip the front and the back. Pretty much what plasti dip is a sealant that is made out of plastic. So it'll seal your EVA foam and it will allow you to go ahead and use paint on it, and the paint won't be absorbed by the foam. So definitely plasti dip the front and the back. Alright, so next thing we're going to actually go ahead and prime. I just use a white primer spray paint, and I am doing that all on the front. It is pretty much just to give it an even white layer so we can get that pink magenta color on there and it's nice and bright for us. So you're going to do that on top on both of the sides and make sure it is nice and evenly coated on the top and the bottom. And this does take a little bit, so just bear with me here. So for primer, actually, you can use either gray or white. I just recommend white just because you get a brighter tone, but gray is about the same. Alright, so now that that is done, I am going to wait for this to dry. Once these are dry, then you're going to go ahead and use some masking tape. You're going to go ahead and tape the lava section out. Carefully do this because remember it is textured, so you don't want to lose some of the EVA foam pieces. This does take a little bit of ripping different pieces into different sizes, so just be patient with your tape and go all the way around and put that all the way inside the lava bits. Make sure you cover it completely, and it's okay if it goes a little bit over because when you airbrush, it's actually going to be, you're going to put orange in the lava, so it'll definitely like spill a little bit. It's lava, you know, it's got to have that illusion. Alright, next I'm moving on to the other hip armor, and I'm doing the same thing, just masking out the lava pieces with masking tape. So the reason I'm doing this is because we are going to be painting the hip armor magenta with spray paint, and then afterwards we are going to be painting the lava. So we want to make sure that we do not get the magenta in the lava area because we want to make sure that that lava is nice and bright. So now I'm grabbing my spray paint and I'm actually going to spray all the piece of the hip armor on top. It's okay if it goes underneath a little bit because no one is going to be able to see underneath. Make sure to paint every single corner. This goes as well for when priming it. I forgot to mention that you want to make sure that you paint all over so you have the entire armor piece covered. And you're going to do this with the other armor as well. And just make sure you get a nice thick coat on there and no spots are revealed. Once it's dry, you're actually going to go ahead and grab your airbrush and you're going to mix a magenta and a little bit of black. And I literally mean just a little bit. And you're actually going to go ahead and shade around the lava. So you're going to shave around the shade around the lava, and also shade on every single corner of the armor. As you can see, I am shading on the outsides all the way around, on the inside or in the inside area of the lava, as you can see, like around it, and also on the outside area of the lava around it. That is giving it a darker magenta, and this actually takes a couple tries, so it's gonna be a lot of patience on the airbrush, and you might even have to flip-flop back and forth from this hip armor piece and the other hip armor piece. There we go. See, there we go. I'm starting on the second one. So I'm going all the way around first with that dark magenta, and then we're going to go in around the lava and then on top around the lava as well. And this is how Lavagirl's armor is. It's shaded all the way around. It is a little bit darker, I feel like, in the pictures, but you know, it's kind of hard to tell exactly what color it is, so I just do it until I finish the bottle. I did have to refill my bottle, so you will need quite a bit, but you don't want to overload your airbrush bottle because then it will start spilling. Sometimes the paint can be a little too thick, and if you don't know, it's not just adding paint into your airbrush. You actually have to mix some solution in it so it's like watered down and it actually goes through. Afterwards, I went ahead and took off the tape, and I actually tried airbrushing the lava with this like orange, it was an orange type of like emergency orange. It didn't work out. So I actually grabbed some acrylic paint, just regular acrylic paint, in an orange. I think it was like jack-o'-lantern orange, and it actually worked out great. Like, just look at that. It's nice and bright, and it's exactly how her armor is. And it is jack-o'-lantern orange. I actually just bought it at Walmart. So it is one of those little tiny bottles. Once all of it dried, I went ahead and used my Mod Podge matte all over it. I started by doing just the pink pieces in case there was a couple wet pieces there on the lava. I didn't want to accidentally get lava anywhere else. And then afterwards, I moved on to the other hip armor and did the same thing. So when Mod Podging, you could actually use a foam brush or a regular brush. I prefer using a foam brush. The regular brush, I noticed, did get bristles sometimes in areas, so you then have to pick those out. With the foam brush, it's not like that. So I'm going all the way around and I'm just putting Mod Podge everywhere. I then started drying it with a hair dryer because I'm impatient. And you will see that Mod Podge leaves some bubbles. It is totally okay to have some bubbles because actually you don't have to pick those off. The Mod Podge eventually ends up drying. So now I'm grabbing my 2-inch Velcro. I have these double pieces here that came in a box from Amazon, and I'm putting them in multiple areas here. So I'm putting them in 5 sections. I'm doing the same thing on here as well. So on both hip armors, we're doing the same. You're actually going to cut each piece into 2 inches. As you can see there, I'm showing you 2 inches. And you're going to go ahead and cut those out because you're going to need 5 of each. You're going to need 5 Velcro and then 5 of the other piece of the Velcro. I'm not 100% sure what the other piece is called. I just call it Velcro in general. Go ahead and cut it out, and you're going to need 5 of them, like I'm saying. My camera was having some trouble focusing. Now I'm cutting those out with some craft scissors. You could also use fabric scissors for these as well, but my fabric scissors are literally only for fabric. So here we go. Now I'm just using the first one that I cut out as a little template. And there we go. There are 5, and I believe those are the ones with spiky pieces. Yes, and then that is the piece without. So you're going to do the same thing. You're going to cut them by 2 inches. So I'm doing that right now. We're cutting 5 pieces as well because we cut 5 pieces of Velcro. So matching them up as I did before with my little craft scissors, not so little. And there we go. We got 5 pieces total. So you're actually going to put the softer pieces on your suit. They are sticky. What I recommend is while you're doing this project, just use the sticky, and then after you're 100% sure on where you want the pieces, then you could go ahead and sew them onto your suit. So for the for the non-soft pieces, the spiky pieces, those are actually going to go ahead and you're going to put some on top, one on the side there on the right. And this is the bigger hip armor for the for your right side. And then you're gonna go ahead and put one on the left, so on the top, left, right, on the bottom, and then on the middle section. So there we go. There are all of our pieces. I put it on my right side just to make sure where I wanted it. I then held it there, and then that's how I determined where I wanted my soft Velcro style piece to go. So there it goes. I matched it up and then I sticked it. Alright, so I do the same thing with each one. I do want to go ahead and tell you guys, like I said, you want to go ahead and finally sew these onto your suit. Once you're completely done with the entire project, you're going to want to sew all of them. Because since they are sticky and they're not in angled parts of your body, they're going to want to come off. So as test runs, it's okay if they come off. Just slowly take off your armor and put it back on, and that's totally okay. So as you can see, I'm just matching them up each time, and there is the final product. You could always add a giant strip on the back instead, or a strip on the top and the bottom and the sides instead of doing little 2-inch pieces. So for this piece, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to do 5 pieces each at 2 inches. So we're going to go ahead and cut those with the craft scissors like I was doing before. I'm sorry if I'm not showing them so much. There we go. Tilted the camera down. I knew my mistake. So afterwards, I'm just rolling up my roll there of 2-inch, and there we go. We have 5 spiky pieces, and we are going to go ahead and attach them onto our piece. One at the top again in the middle, one on the right side, and then one on the left side. All right. And then one at the bottom in the middle, and then we're gonna do one in the middle. And like I said, you could also just do a strip at the top, a strip at the bottom, a strip on the side, and a strip on the side. It'll require a lot more Velcro, but it will actually be a lot more sturdy. So same thing goes for here. We're gonna do 5 pieces because we cut 5 pieces of the Velcro, and you're gonna go ahead and then stick them onto your suit, mainly just for the test run. And like I said, once this project is completely done and you know where every single armor piece is gonna go 100%, then you want to start sewing. A little note to take when sewing onto spandex, it does end up ruining how it is eventually. Like, it might not keep its shape, so it can get a little bit tricky. That's why another reason I didn't decide to sew it immediately is sewing onto spandex can be a little tricky sometimes. Alright, so I'm just matching them up. After this is pretty much it. These are the hip pieces. The reason one is angled and the reason one is not is because she has a belt that goes at an angle. If you notice, and you will notice more and more as we go in the project, she's very not symmetrical. So just be aware. Thank you so much for watching. Please follow my social media and follow me on Twitch as well. Bye everybody!